Hi guys, it's Ray, and today we're saying goodbye to DIY. DIY window screens, to be exact. Whether you're trying to keep bugs out or just trying to get fresh air in, I'm going to show you why these cheap gutter guards and these magnetic window screens are the quickest and easiest way to do both. Plus, I'll show you the secret to keeping dry inside when it's raining outside. And spoiler alert, it's not an umbrella. Window screens were one of the last things I did on this build, and I really wanted a DIY solution. I measured all the windows, cut some patio door screen, and I was looking for magnets and materials to sew around the edges, but honestly, I was kind of burned out at the time. Then a friend suggested I buy pre-made screens, the kind you slide over the window frame, then close the door. Those would fit my front driver and passenger side doors, but I already made window shades for those windows, and they form an airtight fit. These were a no-go. I wanted the screens on my sliding doors because I already have a fan mounted by one of my windows, so that's where I needed the ventilation. And those pullover screens aren't designed to work on a wide sliding door. Another great off-the-shelf solution is these cheap gutter guards that you can get at any hardware store. They're $3. They come in white or in brown, and they already have holes in them, perfect for airflow. And if you look really closely, you can see there's a micro mesh grilled in there. That keeps the bugs out. They're 36 inches wide, and because they're made of vinyl, they're super easy to cut. There are 3 ways to cut these to size. You can use a hacksaw with a new blade, but this is my least favorite option. It wiggles around too much and it's just not a great cut. You can cut these with a miter saw or a circular saw. This is super quick and straight, but power tools are expensive. So just get some cheap tin snips like these. Tin snips are a good choice for aluminum and vinyl gutters because they're precise and easy to use. Also keep in mind that these really only work on rear windows that have a flat top on them. You don't want to use them on something that's curved like this front window because you have to cut it down and it's really only 6 inches tall. So the problem is that once you cut it, that curve, it's going to be so flimsy, it's basically useless to you. So only use them on rear windows that are flat on the top. These are really easy to install though. You start with your window down and you're going to take the bottom side of the gutter guard here. It has a channel built into it, really thin, pretty much made for this window thing. And you're gonna slide it on top and kind of just rest it there on top, all right? And then your job is to work it up and you wanna bend it in here. These sides have to bend inside your little rubber window frame, all right? And then you're gonna reach over to your window power switch while you're holding it down and pushing it in. So it's a little bit of a challenge, but not too bad. I'm gonna reach over here to my window switch and go up and down. This is easier if you have a friend. I'm just gonna keep nudging up. Okay, it popped out a little bit. It's all right. I'm gonna lean in there, grab it, sorry. Grab it there. If you have a friend, this is easier. Pull that back down, okay? Nudge up a little more, and as I get to the top, I have these window deflectors. I'm gonna talk more about these in a minute, but basically, it's harder for me to see, but if you don't have these, it's real easy to see. So I put my hand on the inside and I touch up in here, and that's it. You wanna kind of test the snugness and everything. And for most people, this is enough, and you're done. That was super easy. But I have this 12-volt fan here that I use for ventilation and also as an exhaust fan for cooking. And you can see how low it hangs down. It is way lower than the gutter guard, which ends right about there. I need the window to come all the way down so I can get as much airflow as possible out that window. And for me, these gutter guards are not a good fit, and I went back to the drawing board. So with my window measurements in hand, I started searching online for magnetic window screens in hopes of finding pre-made ones that would be large enough to fit my sliding door windows. And as luck would have it, I found a match. These $16 sunroof screens were a perfect fit for my side windows. They fold up really small and they're super easy to put up and take off. They have a thin magnetic strip sewn into the edges and they stick to the metal on my car just fine. But I bought some rubber-coated magnets to put in the corners just to be sure they stay in place on windows days. I added eye bolts to them so I'd have an easy way to pull the magnets off. Another reason these screens are so awesome for minivans is that you can leave them in place and it doesn't affect opening or closing the door. Here's a tip to keep the rain out. You probably saw these earlier in the video, but I added these window deflectors made by WeatherTech to all of my side windows. They're custom made for every car. They reduce wind noise, they're easy to install, and my favorite thing, they let you keep your windows rolled down a few inches while it's raining without getting water inside the car. These window deflectors stick out a couple of inches from the window, so when it rains, the water falls outside of the window. And the best part of these magnetic window screens is that they snap on top of the deflector, so you get the best of both worlds. The fresh air goes in, the bugs stay out, and when the water hits the deflectors, it just trickles off outside the window. This is video from a recent rainy day. The window is rolled down lower than the window deflector, and the magnetic screen is in place on top of it. There is water on the screen outside, but inside, no water is getting on the window itself or inside the car. The inner edge of the deflector itself is also dry. There is a tiny bit of moisture on the screen itself, but because the screen stretches over the deflector, that water just drops down outside of the window. Now, of course, in a monsoon or a hurricane, the water would blow inside, but for the most part, it stays dry. I really dreaded this and kept putting it off, but it turned out to be one of the easiest parts of the whole build. You never know. If you have questions or suggestions, please leave a comment. That's it for this video. As always, thanks for watching.